The sun hung low over the jagged cliffs of Arendor 5, casting long shadows across the barren, dusty plains. The wind howled like a distant warning, sweeping through the ruins of what had once been a thriving alien city. Crumbled towers and broken streets stretched endlessly, a graveyard of forgotten civilizations. Among these ruins, a figure moved slowly, stumbling with every step. Lyra's breaths came in short, ragged gasps. Her leg was badly wounded, the dark blood staining the sandy ground. She had been left behind by her own people. They had assumed she would not survive the ambush that had destroyed her unit. Now, alone and terrified, she struggled to find water, shelter, and any chance to live another day. Her large violet eyes scanned the horizon. She spotted a broken building and dragged herself toward it. Ignoring the pain shooting through her leg, her hands trembled as she touched the rough stone walls, her small body shivering in exhaustion. The wind tore at her tattered clothing, and she knew she could not last much longer. As she leaned against the wall, Lyra remembered the battle. It had been a routine patrol, at least routine for her people. But the enemy had been faster, stronger, more organized. Her friends had fallen one by one. She had fought with every ounce of strength, but then a massive blast had thrown her against the rocks. When she woke, everyone was gone. She was alone. Night began to fall, and the desert cold sank into her bones. Lyra tried to make a small fire from the scraps of wood she found, but her trembling hands kept failing. Hunger clawed at her stomach, and every sound, the wind, distant howls, the shifting sand, made her heart race. She curled into a ball, wrapping her arms around herself, trying to ignore the fear. Far above, in the darkening sky, a small transport ship glinted as it moved silently across the stars. Inside, Captain Jason Cade sat in the pilot's chair, scanning the barren landscape below. His team had been sent to Arendor 5 to investigate recent conflicts and provide peacekeeping support. He had heard rumors of survivors, but the harsh environment and active enemy patrols made the mission dangerous. Jason's eyes narrowed as he noticed movement in the ruins below. He leaned forward, adjusting the sensors. There, a small injured figure near a cliffside. He could barely make out the shape, but he knew instinctively that someone needed help. "Looks like we have a live one," he said quietly, his voice calm but firm. "Prepare the med unit. We might have to move fast." The team prepared to land, lowering the ship carefully to avoid drawing attention. Jason's heart tightened as he watched the fragile figure struggle through the dust. He could see the fear in those movements, the desperation to survive. He knew that anyone left behind in this environment would not last long. Back on the ground, Lyra's vision blurred as she tried to move toward the cliffs. Her legs screamed in pain with every attempt, and she fell again, hitting the ground with a thud. Her small body felt heavier with every passing moment, and hope began to fade. She whispered to herself in a language she barely remembered, a prayer for someone, anyone, to find her. Then, a shadow fell over her. She looked up, squinting against the last rays of the sun. A human stood there, clad in armor and holding a small medical kit. Lyra froze, unsure whether to scream or run. She had never seen a human before. Her instincts screamed danger, yet something in his posture told her he was not a threat. Jason knelt a few meters away, keeping his distance but speaking softly. "Hey, I'm here to help. Don't move too much. Can you hear me?" Lyra's eyes widened. She wanted to speak, to warn him, but her voice failed. She shook her head slowly, unsure whether this stranger was friend or enemy. Jason nodded, understanding her fear. "It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Just stay still. We'll get you out of here." Carefully he approached, checking the ground for loose rocks and signs of danger. Lyra flinched, but he moved slowly, showing patience. He reached her side and examined her leg. "You're badly injured, but we can fix that," he said. He gently touched her shoulder to help her stay upright. Lyra flinched again, but did not run. Using a portable lift, Jason carefully moved her to the ship. Lyra felt a strange mix of relief and fear. She was leaving her world behind, carried by someone she barely trusted. The ship's engines hummed, and the cold metal floor pressed against her back as she lay down. Jason strapped her in carefully, monitoring her vital signs. "Hang in there," he said quietly. "You're going to be okay." The ship lifted off smoothly, leaving the barren desert below. Lyra stared out the small window, watching the ruins shrink into dust. For the first time since the ambush, she felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps she could survive after all. The med unit inside the ship worked quickly. Lyra's wounds were cleaned, dressed, and stabilized. She groaned softly, feeling the sting of the antiseptic but also the warmth of care. Jason remained by her side, occasionally checking the sensors and monitoring her condition. "You've been through a lot," he said gently, "but you're not alone anymore." Lyra's violet eyes met his, and for a moment the fear melted into cautious trust. She did not know this human, but he had saved her life. That simple fact gave her courage. The ship flew through the night, navigating the dangerous terrain. Jason's team maintained a careful watch outside, scanning for enemy patrols. Inside, Lyra drifted in and out of consciousness, the pain ebbing under the medications. Even in her dreams, she could not escape the memory of the ambush, the screams, and the loss of her companions. But the human's presence kept the nightmares at bay. By morning, the ship reached a human forward base hidden among the cliffs. It was a small, fortified station, equipped with advanced technology and medical facilities. Jason carefully carried Lyra inside, introducing her to the medical team. They began a more thorough examination, noting the severity of her injuries and planning a full recovery. Lyra remained silent, her body weak, but her mind alert. She watched the humans move around, their efficiency and determination evident in every action. Despite her fear of strangers, she could not help but feel a strange admiration. They were different from her people, larger, stronger, but not cruel. There was kindness in their eyes, a willingness to help those in need. Jason stayed by her side as much as possible, explaining the procedures and reassuring her. "You're safe here," he said. "No one will hurt you. We just want to help." Slowly, Lyra nodded, her trust growing in small steps. She did not speak the human language well, but gestures and expressions carried meaning. A simple touch on the hand, a smile, a patient presence, all of it told her that she was no longer alone. Over the next few days, Lyra's strength returned. She began to move with more confidence, her curiosity about the humans growing. She asked questions through gestures and simple words, learning about their technology, their mission, and their purpose. Jason answered patiently, sharing what he could without overwhelming her. One evening, as the sun set over the cliffs, Lyra and Jason stood outside the base looking at the horizon. The sky was painted with shades of orange and purple, and the wind carried the scent of distant storms. "You're stronger than you think," Jason said, "and you've survived a lot already. That means you can survive what comes next." Lyra's eyes reflected the colors of the sky. She felt a mixture of fear, hope, and determination. She had been abandoned, left to die, but now she had a chance to fight, to live, and perhaps to find a new purpose alongside these humans who had saved her. As night fell, the base glowed with light against the dark cliffs. Inside, Lyra rested peacefully for the first time in days, surrounded by people who cared for her. Outside, Jason stood watch, thinking about the battle still ahead and the fragile hope that this unlikely alliance could make a difference. For the first time in a long while, Lyra felt that survival was possible. And perhaps with these humans she could do more than survive, she could thrive. The journey was far from over, but for now she was safe. And in that safety, a new story began. A story of trust, courage, and the unexpected bond between a wounded alien scout and a human soldier who refused to leave anyone behind. The shuttle glided smoothly back to the starship Endeavour, leaving Xylar 7's glowing landscapes behind. But for Captain Liam Hart and Lieutenant Arya Cole, the planet's lessons were far from over. The memory of Princess Liara's words echoed in their minds. Humans were remarkable, not for their strength, but for their spirit. Once aboard the ship, Liam reviewed the data they had collected. Energy readings, crystalline structures, and the peculiar responses of the planet to human thought. Everything suggested that Xylar 7 was alive in ways they had never imagined. But more importantly, it had recognized something special in humans. "Liam," Arya said, her eyes bright, "this planet, it's like it's testing us. And we passed. I've never seen anything like it. But I feel like there's more, like it wants to teach us, to see what else we can do." Liam nodded. "I agree. Princess Liara didn't just let us explore. She was observing, testing, judging. There's more to this than just curiosity. Xylar 7, it wants to know if humans are worthy of trust." As they spoke, the ship's communication console chimed. A holographic image appeared above it. Princess Liara's luminous form shimmered before them, her eyes reflecting curiosity and calm authority. "Humans, she said telepathically. Your performance in the initial trials has impressed me. But the greatest test is still ahead. Will you return to Xylar 7 and face it? Liam exchanged a look with Arya. There was no hesitation. Yes, he said firmly. We are ready. The next shuttle journey to Xylar 7 was filled with anticipation. The humans had learned that the planet responded to thought and emotion, but now they wondered what the final test would be. As the shuttle descended, the crystal formations glowed brighter than before, as if welcoming them. Princess Liara met them at the landing site. This time the challenge is one of unity and insight, she explained. You will be separated and guided by different paths. Alone you may struggle. Together you may succeed. Choose carefully and remember, the essence of life here is balance. Without warning, the platform beneath Liam's feet lifted him high into the air. Arya's platform moved in a different direction, leaving them separated. Liam tried to calm his mind, focusing on his purpose. The platform carried him over jagged crystal cliffs, luminous rivers, and floating islands that seemed impossible to navigate. The environment shifted continuously. Walls of light appeared, blocking his path. Enormous crystalline creatures emerged, observing him silently. They were not aggressive, but their presence demanded respect and cleverness. Liam realized he needed to understand them, not fight them. He remembered Liara's earlier lesson. Empathy and insight matter more than strength. Concentrating, Liam studied the creatures' movements, sensing patterns in their behavior. Slowly, he began to mirror their motions, moving in harmony rather than opposition. The creatures allowed him to pass, almost as if approving his understanding. Meanwhile, Arya faced her own trial. The platform she rode carried her through a dense forest of translucent crystals. Each step revealed illusions, false paths, mirages, and echoes of past fears. One illusion showed her a failing mission, with Liam injured and the shuttle lost. Panic threatened to overwhelm her, but she recalled the lessons of Xylar 7, clarity of mind, courage, and focus on purpose. She centered herself, tuning out fear, and focused on her goal, to reach the final chamber and reunite with Liam. Slowly, the illusions faded, clearing a path forward. She realized that the planet's tests were not just about intelligence or bravery, they were about trust, patience, and cooperation. As Liam approached a vast chasm, he saw a faint light on the other side. At first it seemed unreachable, but then he noticed the crystals forming bridges responding to his thoughts. He carefully visualized his path step by step. The crystals shifted, creating a route that led him forward. His heart pounded, but his mind stayed clear. At the same time, Arya encountered a river of liquid light, flowing with impossible speed. She could not cross by physical means. Thinking quickly, she focused her mind, imagining herself moving with the flow rather than against it. The river responded, parting and forming a path. Her understanding of the planet's intelligence allowed her to navigate safely. Finally, both humans arrived at the central chamber, a massive dome of pure crystal. The walls shimmered with visions of galaxies, stars, and civilizations. In the center floated a radiant orb of energy, pulsing with life. Princess Liara's form appeared above it, her glow intense. You have succeeded in navigating the trials, she said. But the ultimate test is here. The orb of unity will assess your hearts and minds. You must act together as one. Only through cooperation can the orb reveal its knowledge. Liam and Arya approached the orb. They reached out simultaneously, and a wave of energy surged through them. Instantly, they were no longer in the chamber, they were within a vision. Xylar 7's history unfolded before them. Ancient civilizations rising and falling. The balance of life and energy maintained through wisdom and cooperation. They saw the planet's greatest challenge, a cosmic storm that threatened to destabilize the ecosystem. Liara's people had learned to survive it, but only by working in harmony with life itself. The orb asked a silent question. Could humans, separated by distance and culture, understand and embrace this principle? Liam and Arya shared their thoughts, focusing on unity, trust, and the importance of using knowledge responsibly. The orb responded, expanding its energy around them, testing their intentions. It was not enough to act individually. They had to synchronize their minds and hearts. Through deep concentration, they aligned their thoughts, visualizing the solution together. Energy flowed from them into the orb, connecting with the planet itself. Slowly, the chamber glowed with radiant light. The orb stabilized. the visions of the storm receding and the balance of Xylar 7 reaffirmed. Princess Liara's glow softened, her voice filled with admiration. You have done what few can. Humans, your species thrives not by domination, but by understanding, courage, and cooperation. You have proven that your spirit can resonate with life itself. Liam and Arya felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had faced the unknown, trusted each other, and understood the essence of a world unlike their own. It was a triumph not of strength or technology, but of character. Liara extended her hand, or at least the glowing projection of one. You are welcome here, humans. Not as conquerors, but as allies, friends, and students of the universe. Xylar 7 will share its knowledge with you if you choose to continue learning. The humans bowed respectfully. Liam spoke first. Thank you, Princess Liara. We are honored and we will act with care and respect. Humanity is small, but we strive to understand and grow. We will learn from Xylar 7 and share what we can in return. Arya added, We will not take this lightly. Your trust means everything, and we will honor it with our actions. Liara's form shimmered, almost smiling. I sense sincerity in your hearts. That is rare, even among my own people. You have shown that humans are capable of great wisdom and great courage. Remember this lesson. The universe watches those who act with intention and heart. The central chamber dissolved, and the humans found themselves back on the platform, standing together. The trials of Xylar 7 had ended, but the experience had changed them. They understood the planet, its life, and the importance of unity in a way that no human had before. As they prepared to leave, Liam looked at Arya. We have done more than survive. We've proven that humans can rise to challenges that no one else could, and we've made a friend, someone who sees us not as invaders but as equals. Arya nodded. And think of what this means for the rest of humanity. If we can show other civilizations our spirit and intelligence, maybe humans can inspire more than we ever imagined. The shuttle lifted off from Xylar 7, leaving the glowing planet behind. Liam watched the crystals fade into the distance, remembering the trials, the creatures, the orb of unity, and Princess Liara's guidance. The lessons were clear. Curiosity, courage, empathy, and cooperation were what made humans remarkable. Back aboard the Endeavor, the crew prepared to continue their journey. Xylar 7 had changed them, shown them the potential of the human spirit. Liam felt hope, not just for their mission but for humanity itself. Somewhere in the depths of space, Princess Liara watched them leave, her curiosity still alive. She knew the humans had much to offer the universe, and she knew, deep in her heart, that their story was only beginning. As the stars stretched out before them, Liam whispered to himself, Humanity is small, fragile, but maybe, just maybe, we are exactly what the universe needs. The ship sailed into the endless cosmos, carrying humans who had proven that courage, intelligence, and heart could shine across the stars. And in doing so, they had shown that humans were not just survivors. They were remarkable, capable of inspiring the galaxies themselves.